Now, let's dive into GDP. GDP, we talked about how it's released and what it means. In the US, there is good GDP and bad GDP. Good growth vs bad growth, okay? What's good? The good, bad, and the ugly. So good GDP is consumption. When people are buying more stuff, that means they are more confident. And that's also the biggest part of the economy. So that's something we should look out for, personal consumption. Another figure to watch out for, even though it's much smaller in the United States compared to Germany, for example, or China, exports. Basically, the more a country exports, that means there's demand from other places in the world. And this could turn into a virtuous effect. Okay, so that's also good growth. A third good growth is investment. More investments, more hope for the future. If a company builds a new factory or employs more people, or I don't know, things like that, it's also has a virtuous effect, hopes for the future. Of course, when these three figures fall, it's all bad news. It's a vicious cycle, a vicious effect, not a virtuous one, okay? What kind of growth is bad growth, okay? So when we have government, more government investment, that's seen as temporary, and that's also frowned upon in the US. The US is more based on of course, private sector, especially in comparison to France, for example. So any rise in government spending can be stopped later on by Congress, or anyway, it can be temporary, and it's not the right kind of growth. Another bad kind of growth is inventories. Basically, what goes up must come down. So if there is a build in inventories, if storage is filled up, that means that in the next quarter, it could be depleted, and the other way around. So if we have relatively low growth, but because of a fall in inventories, it's not such bad news. Okay, so same goes for consumption. And if we have good growth, but consumption is weak, not led by consumption, it's not such good news. Okay, of course, the headline figure is the most important one, but then there is a second reaction that markets look into the components of growth. Okay,